Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to e-rev TV. I am Pat, the Twiz Harrison, and I do apologize if my voice is a little off today. I'm a bit under the weather, but I'm still going to bring you guys this nice League of Legends cast, as we have Team Nice taking on Team... what is it called here? Team A Picture of Goose Atlanta's team. So that's the replay that we're going to be covering today. Looks like for Atlanta's team, we have Irelia, Alistar, Corki, Nunu, and Blitzcrank. And the players on this team are going to be Atlanta, Nico Sharp, Mandatory Cloud, Wallstop, and Barrard. For Team Nice, we have Ashe, Warwick, Malphite, Scion, Lux. And it's going to be Critical Kill, Lapaka, Godrake, I got a, and Spot Shot 77. So we're waiting to get everything started here. So both teams looking pretty solid right now. So this should be a pretty interesting match to take a peek at here, and hopefully I can bring you guys some good commentary of this. Again, like I said, I do apologize. I'm a bit under the weather today, so there's just a couple more brief lapses of dead air where there's nothing being said. It's probably me coughing my lungs out or something good like that. So let's take a look at what lane assignments are going to be. Obviously, we're going to have Corki, Ashe middle. Their jungle is going to be Nunu. The jungle for Team Nice is going to be Warwick, of course. From there, I'm guessing we'll see Scion up top with Lux Malphite at the bottom. And that should round out Team Nice's lineup. And for these other guys here, for Goose Atlanta's team, probably going back to the old school Blitzcrank Alistar lane. And possibly Irelia going to be the one to take the solo up top against Scion. So as we're getting started, let's take a look and see exactly what these guys are doing and seeing if we're going to see some action around. So let me adjust the audio real quick. Okay, and turn the announcer volume up. Okay. So let's see if we're going to see any actions going around any of the buffs or possibly trying to gank either of the jungles here. So they're starting to head to their lanes here. I see Scion going top. I don't know what Malphite's doing up here. Malphite now going bottom. So let's look at starting items here. Dorn's Shield on Ashe and Malphite. Warwick, I believe, still sitting in the well, AFK here. But Dorn's Shield's on Ashe and Malphite. Pretty common item now. Even we're seeing it a little bit more on DPS carries just because of the health regen. Gives you the ability to sustain a lane. And since there's no denying, it's just basically figuring out where your last hits are. You do get a little bit less harassed because you don't get that additional damage like you would for the Doran's Ring, but that health and the ability to stay in the lane definitely complements the Doran's Shield quite well. Scion with the Sapphire Crystal Health Pot, and Lux is taking the Doran's Ring. As for the other team here, we do have Corki Cloth Armor and some Health Potions to make sure that you cover it in the lane against Ashe. And immediately we're looking at Alistar coming towards the middle lane here with Corki. I'm sure he's heading towards the bottom now, just passing through, but trying to push Ashe back. Bottom lane, we're going to see Lux and Malphite. And then that will be Blitzcrank Alistar. Irelia soloing the top lane. And immediately a lot of action going between Irelia and Scion. As Scion choosing to use the shield first here. And he's just going through and going to use this to farm and last hit. As well as it's very, very strong. Once you get that stun up, you can begin to harass these people back. Irelia not being able to pick up any items with the health potion because she does go Doran's Blade first. So one of the key things that Scion's going to look at here is trying to push her back out of the lane, which we're seeing right now as he uses the stun, and he's coming by and using the shield as well, just to try to harass her back so that he can get some lane control and begin to dominate this lane. That's the advantage that you have here, and you have to look at that pretty drastically as you're entering the laning phase. With the Dorn's item being more expensive, them not having a health potion now, he can begin to zone her back from this lane and force her so she's not going to be getting any creep kills. And, well, I guess he doesn't, I think he has no more health potions here. Oh, he has one more health potion. Nunu coming for the gank up at the top lane. Sion using his stun to try to evade from this. Shield coming up, but instantly going back down. So, get 1 bar of health, flashing away from that. Nunu ganking very, very early here. Aurelia must be saying that she was having some trouble with the lane. Sion using his last health pot here. So now this lane's going to be pretty evened up between these guys. It's going to all come down to basically who's going to have the stronger harass to be able to get the first person to back. And that's what's going to end up dominating the lane here. The big advantage is Nunu in and out of that jungle so quickly. Should be for quite a treat throughout this game if he continues ganking the way that he does. But these ganks have to become successful. Otherwise, Nunu's going to find himself underfarmed through the mid part of this game, and he's going to end up being pretty useless. So he's got to make sure that he's put in a situation where he can successfully complete one of these ganks. So now, let's take a little peek back down at the bottom lane here. Actually, let's take a look at creep counts right now, as Sion is backing already. Creep count right now, Ashe with 13 creep kills against the Corki in middle. Corki already at 25. Corki looks like getting the blunt of the farm in the middle lane, which isn't necessarily to be expected. Corki's just doing a much better job against Ashe here. I haven't had a chance to look, but we'll make sure that we take a peek down there. Aurelia is out farming Sion well at the top, so both solo lanes are definitely in favor of the blue team right now. And it's pretty much all the stuff that I see. I mean, Blitzcrank taking a little bit of farm. Alistar doesn't need the farm. And then I haven't seen Nunu out of the jungle for a little bit, so I don't know where he's at right now. So let's look and see exactly what's going on in middle that's forcing Ashe to not get this farm. Is this just something where Ashe isn't getting the last hits, or just something where Corki's spamming Phosphorus Bomb and keeping her pushed back from the lane? So Ashe is at 472 health. Corki's all the way full right now, and he just keeps pushing in here, and he's doing a great job lading this up and zoning her back. So you can see every time that she goes in for a last hit, Corki goes with a little bit of a poke there. So we're going to need to see Warwick come out of the jungle here and gank this lane. Otherwise, if Corki's able to dominate Ashe and destroy her like that, that's just going to be setting the pace for the rest of this game. So back up to the top, so I don't want to miss any of this action here. And Sion is being ganked again by Nunu, along with Aurelia here. Sion using his shield and stun. Both stuff is down as he is trying to get away here. Barely going towards the tower. 4 bars of health, 3 bars of health. Oh my gosh, she is almost dead. 300, 200, and they're just whacking away at him, and he's able to get to the tower with 1 bar of health potion going the entire time to get him back there. Very clutch. I thought he was doomed. I don't know exactly where Nunu went. I don't think I've seen him pass through that ward, but he might have as I was looking at the health here. But Sion doing a great job using his skills there, making sure that he's stunning the right person there, which was Aurelia. Aurelia with the biggest amount of burst damage here. And now let's take a look back to middle, as we still are seeing Corki just dominating Ashe. Now Ashe now at 19 creep kills. Corki's at 43, so Corki has actually doubled the creep count here in middle. And that's not what you want to see in this situation. I mean, you do not want to see your middle lane losing like this in gold. But, I mean, Corki is one of those champions that's able to do it. And I don't know exactly what happened here. If Ashe just took a little bit of damage early and scared to push back up here, knowing that Corki's just there, or if possibly Nunu is something that's going to keep her back, seeing him come out of the jungle as much. But nonetheless, we're seeing Ashe just completely get dominated here in middle, and this will continue at this point for probably the rest of the game here. Ashe is going to have to pick up a lot of farming from the side lanes as this game progresses, so she can begin to get farmed and catch back up with the goal that Corki's accomplished. So now look at this, as they're teleporting to that ward there, and now we have first blood. Warwick at the red buff, they definitely placed a ward there inside the bush, where we've seen Alistar teleport back up here to use Aurelia, Nunu, and Corki all going there. Definitely should have been scared and backed out there once all the lanes went missing, and you were at the red buff. So not uncommon to have that red buff warded, and Warwick just felt the pain of that. And the one picking up the red buff, who ended up grabbing that first kill, goes to Aurelia. Oh, actually, they didn't finish the red. Wow. Or did they? I don't know who got it if they did finish it. Yeah, it was finished. Probably going to Nunu. $29.56, your creep count for the middle. Aurelia's at 42, Sion at 25. So again, both solo lanes are losing at this point. And Nunu is doing a little bit stronger job in the jungle compared to Warwick at this time. Bottom lane, it doesn't really matter if bottom lane wins or not. These are just your tanks and your supports going at it. So, yeah, they have an impact in the game, especially your initiations from the tank, but not as large of an impact as your middle lanes and your top lanes are getting, which are going to be your solo lanes, and they're going to be the brunt of your damage. So, AP Scion, a ton of damage through the middle and late game, and Ashley's going to be your late game carry. So, Malphite now rotating, let's say he's teleporting back, but he's indicating that he's going to come and gank the middle lane. So let's see if middle's even considered set up for it. So 736 out of his 1,000 health right now, 149 mana. So he does have enough for a Valkyrie. The summoner spells that Corky took is going to be Flash and Ghost. So he has a lot of evasive maneuvers to get out of there. So he does have a way. He does have a way to get out, and just based off this, I'm guessing this is not going to be a very successful gank. Ash has got to hit the stun from a little bit further away, and then we're going to need to see... Well, we've got 3 of them up here. Corky unaware of what's going on right now as we are seeing Malphite begin to position himself through the jungle. He's coming around, down to the river right now, and we're going to get to see him come in on this. But look for that. There's the alt arrow. Looks like Ash arrow. Looks like it goes right through there. Malphite now coming in. There we're seeing the Valkyrie. It's going to be followed up by his Ghost and a Flash. He is exhausted. Nunu coming in to help right now, but Corky able to escape from that. It looks like to me that Ash arrow just went right in. And this may not be the best situation that they want to go in, as Nunu's at 260 health, 200 health. He comes in to save, and he might possibly die, but no, barely escaping from that fight. Good battle there in the middle lane. But that Ash arrow just dumbfounded me. It looks like he's going right through Corky. But then again, this is on a replay, so we may not have been able to see what had actually happened, because I believe there's a couple little laggy spots throughout this. So, we're almost at the 10-minute mark, so let's give you some 10-minute items and see what people are possibly going to be building up to. So, Ash picking up a couple of the long swords, Madrid's Razors on Warwick, Malphite just picking up Boots Ruby Crystal, which probably going to be an early Aegis of the Legion, or even with this team. Wouldn't mind, I mean, with Blitzcranks, it's always nice to go ahead and get that Banshee's Veil, too, just for that unexpected grab. So that wouldn't be a terrible item. A couple little smaller items here. Corky picking up his Sheen already. Going to be used for his Trinity Force. Definitely a strong item on him. I'll start with the Amplifying Tome and Sapphire Crystal. And then Aurelia's picking up another Doran's Blade there, so she's getting that 9 damage. A little bit more life still to hold her in the lane. And guys, that is pretty much it right now. So warding been quite light for both of the teams, so a lot of it's been focused around dragon control at this time, which is definitely the main thing that you have to focus on. So there's a couple main key points that you're always going to have warded that are givens, which are going to be your dragons and your barons. So baron later on in the game, that'll be something that we see warded pretty quickly, because these guys do have quite a bit of damage output. But there's a lot of other places that you can ward. So see, that's a pretty good ward there, as we're now seeing Nunu trying to enter in here, and now we're going to see him possibly go towards the dragon. But nope, he's just posted up inside this bush here, in line of sight, heading up towards their blue. But these guys really don't have what it takes to just jump in there and kill them, and at this point they're just staying back and nobody's really positioned. Corky and Aurelia coming down, and they're going to go for a dragon here. Possibly a gank at bottom. So now we need to see a lot of rotation there. Warwick needs to leave this jungle and come towards Dragon. Dragon's going to be a very key point here, and this might be where we see our first large team fight. And they are at Dragon right now, so we see Corky and them are committing themselves in here. Malphite needs to go there. Ash Arrow, that's going to blade it right on Corky's face. Malphite in with the ultimate, and now we're seeing everybody just getting beat on here. Lux doing a good job landing and hitting everybody with that slow. One person going down here. Now they're following up on Alistar. Then you let Alistar go. Alistar flashing out, and these guys are going to take the first dragon here, as that Malphite initiation just destroyed them, along with Lux's E-spell. Man, that was pretty sick there. Nunu did get his ult off, but it wasn't enough to really kill anybody. Only person going down there is going to be Corky and Nunu, as both of them drop in that first team fight. So a lot of AoE burst damage that you see out of Lux, Scion, Malphite, and then of course the volley from Ash. So a lot of damage being spread out there, which is why they were able to go through that fight and take them down so early. This is going to give Ash a little bit of a chance to go ahead and regain some farm back from middle. as Aurelia having 73 creep score compared to Scion's 58, so still slightly ahead at the top. Ash with 59 compared to Corky's 88. The bottom lane, Blitzcrank's already at 60 creep kills, which is quite a bit here, so he's picked up his Sheen. Alistar at 17, so he's giving all of that farm up. So let's look at that compared to what Lux and Malphite are doing. Is Malphite's at 33, Lux at 21. They've been able to dominate and keep people harassed back, but last hitting definitely hasn't been their strong suit at the bottom lane. So right now, the blue team, which is Team whatever, Goose's Atlanta, something like that, basically right now dominating throughout the laning phase. Although they did lose the first fight, score being 2-1 right now. It's worth 13 minutes, 17 seconds into this game. So, a couple more good ward spots here. It's definitely a great place that you want to put a ward. Not only do you get the line of sight from the river, you also get a little bit of line of sight into the four-way here. And they're able to see everything that Nunu is doing right now. And then, of course, the defensive ward at the top. Aurelia, it looked like she was going to try to commit herself to this fight against Scion, but at this point, I don't think she could be able to take him. Let's look at what item Scion's has. Just his Sheen right now. A lot of Sheens being built this game as we look through and see Aurelia with the Sheen, Alistar with the Sheen, Corky with the Sheen, Blitzcrank with the Sheen, Scion with the Sheen. So, this is like the game of Sheens. So Nunu's level 7, and how many, what's his creep score right now? Let's just take a look at that. 40 is his creep score. Warwick has 46 creep score, and he is level 7 as well. So these guys are very comparable in the jungle. The one thing that we've seen a lot more out of Nunu than Warwick is a lot of ganking. Nunu has came out of this jungle quite frequently since level 2, and really been focused on the ganking aspect of this to basically allow top and middle to have lane control. Which is what we're seeing here. The bottom lane, basically just a support tank, whatever. Oh my gosh, and they were able to take it down there. And Malphite and Lux doing a good job. They're killing Alistar, which I did not think was going to happen. Both of these lanes are quite tanky. The shield from Lux and Malphite alone are tanky, as well as Blitzcrank's mana shield, which is his passive, and Alistar's ultimate make this a team that can just stalemate. Warwick setting up for a gank in middle, and he does go in on Corky. Ash is here, and they're all following up on this. Corky with the flash away, Nunu coming in, using the ultimate, and just basically as a defensive maneuver. I think he was hoping to slow them in there enough for a couple tower shots, but that was not able to happen, as it didn't have the large effective damage onto either one of them. And again, that's forcing Corky back out of there. So Corky had 109 creep kills. Ash is at 83. And Scion's beginning to catch up with that farm that Aurelia is getting up top, which he can easily do now, as he has picked up his blasting wand, which should start going for Rabadons quite early. So Warwick, of course, going for Madru's Blood Razor first, one of his core items. Back to the top lane, as we're seeing these guys just going after each other here, but just a lifesteal party right now. So let's see exactly what's going on. I don't know if they're going to fully commit here. Aurelia obviously winning the blunt of that. Scion not able to lifesteal fast enough to get everything back. Not to mention he does have neutral creeps. They're kind of beating on him. So to the bottom here, as Nunu, Alistar, and Blitzcrank all just doing a ton of damage to the tower. We see the Lux ultimate there in hopes that these guys will back. But that tower does go down, so first tower going to the blue team. First dragon did go to the purple team, but they are picking up the first tower here, which means now we're going to see a roaming Alistar and a roaming Blitzcrank. And that's not really what you want to have, is Blitzcrank not forced to be in a lane, as he's going to float around here. One of these two you'll see begin to roam. Alistar can fend this lane off for himself. And now a lot of action going on at the top here, as we're seeing Warwick going down. Scion running away here as he was with Corky and Aurelia there. And now Aurelia going after him, going for the tower dive. Scion not with enough mana to do anything. And you may see her come back up and try to take another peek at him here. And try to take another shot in between here. Nope, she's going back and she's going to go for some tower chip. Which she is going to get here. So just so you can see exactly what's... well, I guess I can't see exactly how much tower damage is being taken. Ashe now going towards the top lane, and we may see an Ashe stun. Nope, we're going to volley, trying to scare away, but Aurelia's got quite a bit of burst damage here. A couple tower shots going towards Aurelia. She's going to dip out. Ashe using her health potion. Corky's still missing right now, as well as the bottom lane. Blitzcrank and Alistar are missing. These guys need to begin to gather up and figure out where this push is going to be. No indication of anybody going to Dragon right now, so these guys seem pretty safe. Aurelia, the only one on the map up top. Blitzcrank now making his presence known in the middle. And looks like Warwick's going to attempt to grab this dragon, which isn't the best idea as there are a lot of missings. And I think he might have been wondering the same thing as he's backing out. Nope, he is here. Not to mention, so is Blitzcrank and Alistar. They are all there right now. And that's putting this another fight that we're going to see around the dragon. So this is where we're going to see the second team fight begin the battle, as both of them know that they both are wanting to go for it. And we're going to start to see both teams begin to get set up here. Aurelia doing a quick push on the middle to force these guys out of that dragon area. Their ward has now dropped and is down. So they're not going to have that advantage of line of sight until Ashe has another volley up and is able to do that. There we are, not the volley, but her little bird. And the bird is up. They've seen it, and they're backing out. They might be able to get Aurelia here if they're able to land that stun, but these guys are all coming right here. It's not going to be long before we either see them split up or we see them fight. Somebody needs to go to the top tower. It is taking some neutral creep damage. And here we go. Let's see who Blitz is going to pull to try to get somebody out of position. Lux using her E-spell there. And now we see the Ashe ult, and it comes in on Blitzcrank, followed up by Malphite and the Lux ult, and we're just watching these guys drop like nothing. What a great job there as they followed up there. The Ashe stun will forcing them to fight in place, and Lux's AP burst damage just doing a ton here. As we see Alistar, and Alistar's the one taking the brunt of the damage here. But man, that just forces them right out of the fight. Blitzcrank with the pull on Ashe. Ashe into the tower. Ashe is going to go down. Scion with the follow-up on Blitzcrank. But that team fight definitely going to the purple team, which is Team Nice. Doing a great job with the organization. There is that Ashe stun followed up by Malphite ultimate. And all of the bursts from the Lux, the Scion, and Malphite going in there was just a ton. And that's going to allow these guys to pick up their second dragon of the game. So dragon going down right at about 20 minutes. We'll just call that 20 minutes on the nose, pretty much. So now let's take let's see what happens here in the middle. Is Malphite's using his slow snare from Lux, and that's putting Alistar in a very bad situation. Alistar going to drop here. Scion just beasting it up right now, and that is the potential that Scion has. Malphite trying to run away here. Aurelia chasing it, able to follow up, and there goes Malphite. He is dropping down to the hands of Aurelia. So let's see who's going to be taking. We're seeing a lot of action here. 6 kills to 5 kills. Ashe follow up with the arrow, and that's just trying to hold these guys back so that they're not going to lose the middle lane. But it's not looking good as that middle lane already at half health, and they're just going to be forced to let this drop down, putting them 2 towers to 0 right now in favor of the blue team. As of now, this has turned out to be a pretty decent game. I am pretty impressed by what's happened here. As we are now at 20 minutes, and there's no clear lead from either team. Although we are seeing blue team with the majority of the farm. Purple team beginning to pick up some more items. Ashe finally with that BF sword, as well as a brutalizer. Warwick almost able to finish up his. Oops, let me get back to the action here. As we have Scion coming in. Looks like he teleported in, or somebody teleported in there, and they're going for one more tower. Oh my gosh, what are these guys going to do? Blue team just continuing their push. They're not backing at all up until now. Malphite with the ultimate is going to hold Corky and them in there. Beautiful ultimate by Lux, and she was able to land it on both of them. And we do see some people ghosting to get out of there. They've now snagged Alistar. Alistar going down as well. And this push is now going to be turned into a counter push, and it should not be too difficult for these guys to grab their first tower of the game and take down middle. As you see Aurelia going out, Malphite going to try to go in there. Blitzcrank with the pull, not able to hit it. Ashe arrow missing as well. And now they're going for Blitzcrank here. We've seen Malphite coming there. I don't know how long we are till the Lux ult, so possibly they can take down Aurelia here. Another pull from Blitzcrank. Scion with a beautiful flash in there and just destroying her. Stun followed up by a little bit of a right-click action, and there she just drops. So this Scion has definitely set the pace for this game. As he is now 4-0-2. On the other team's going to be Atlanta 5-1-0, with all 5 kills going straight towards Aurelia right now. She has actually finished her Trinity Force at this time. Corki has finished his Trinity Force as well. So 2 large-scale items already, and that's what we're going to see from all that farm that was given up early. So it was 2 Trinity Forces right around 20 minutes, which is pretty solid. Ash now picking up a Negatron Cloak and a Ruby Crystal, which obviously is going to be going towards the Banshee's Veil here. Looking for a little bit of survivability, and of course making sure that Blitzcrank's not going to do a pull. Lux picking up that new item, which is the Morella's Evil Tome. 75 ability power plus some mana regen and some cooldown reduction. And that's pretty much it. Malphite with the Catalyst, and he's got a Giant's Belt as well. So, and Chain Belt. It's kind of in between items. Looks like he's going for Sunfire Cape here. 9-6. That other kill being picked up by Corki as they were able to take down Warwick. So, towards the middle part of this game, only big problem that I've seen right now is these guys have been very, very light on wards come towards the middle point here. So there was, I thought it was a Clairvoyance at first. That must have been the Hawk Shot from Ash. So I talk a lot about gold. Let's talk a little bit about experience now as we're 23 minutes in, and let's see what the level differentiators are between this team right now. So we have Ash at 14, Corki at 13. So Ash has actually began to outlevel Corki due to the wins in these team fights. 118 creep kills to 142. So Corki's still with a little bit more, but Ash with the level advantage. Now Aurelia also level 14, Scion matching that. 159 to 122 is the creep kills there. Blitzcrank is level 11. Lux is level 11, level 10 Nunu and Alistar. So right now the purple team's slightly ahead in levels, but not in gold at this point. And all the gold mainly going towards Scion right now. And we have yet to see Warwick finish up his Madred's Blood Razors at nearly 25 minutes in the game. We still have about another minute or so before we're going to see Dragon pop back up. But these guys are starting to push up middle lane. So what you usually see here is in preparation a push towards a lane like this. So these guys kind of hang out back here and then a reposition to Dragon to pick up that Dragon kill, which is exactly what we were looking at here. And no surprise, that is we're I don't know. I still think right now I think we're like literally at about a minute before Dragon pops up, and we're going to see both these teams beginning to hover around here, waiting for that Dragon to come alive again back on the map, and that's going to be the place where we're most likely going to see the next team fight here. And down goes the wards as we do see Lux picking up the Oracle's Elixir. A beautiful ult in there, and Corki just going to drop like a fly as they just, wow. Very unexpected ultimate in from Warwick. Blitzcrank going with the pull, but he's pulling on Warwick right now, and Warwick's going to die. No, Warwick trying to escape here, and coming back in with some life steals. They're able to take down Nunu. All these team fights definitely going towards Team Nice right now, which is a team that was down in towers, down in gold, down in a lot of stuff early in the game, but they're playing their team fights very, very well. Amazing team comp that they've put on here, and just a great job on points to initiate. As we're just a few more seconds here, these guys are going to push up here, take down this tower, possibly an inhib, and then if they're going to do everything right, they're going to circle back around to Dragon and pick up that Dragon kill. We do see Alistar and Blitz doing everything that they can here to keep these out, but that's just going to mean Alistar's death, as there's not a lot he can do. Blitzcrank pulling Malphite in, definitely not the person you'd want to pull in. But down's going to go the inhibitor as well, and these guys are going to back and head towards Dragon now. So now this inhibitor's down, they've got the middle lane control, and the pace is definitely set towards the purple team, which is Team Nice right now. 13-6 is the score for champion kills, and they should definitely be able to win this. So they've gone through, they've awarded a couple key points here. Obviously this choke point right here, as well as a choke point here. And it's time to go and pick up some buffs. Actually, everybody backing here, they have quite a bit of gold to spend. Cyan, see him in chat there asking for next blue buff so we can have a little bit more sustainability while in team fights. So these guys are taking quite a bit of level advantage now, as Ash and Cyan both pushed up to level 15, which surpassed their predecessors, which was Irelia and Corky. And now they're beginning to pick up that gold that they were missing there. So as this game's coming towards the middle, which is about to transition into the late game part of this, the purple team, Team Nice, definitely had a very, very distinct advantage here. As they're catching up with gold, they're far ahead in experience, as well as in champion kills and map controls. They've already pushed the middle lane. And there we see a Blitzcrank pull on Ash. This is not good for these guys because they're carrying being forced to flash out of there. And we see a follow-up. Great volley and stun there by Ash. Oh my god. As she goes from being the one to being ganked to being the ganker that quickly here. And we're just going to see these guys get demolished here in this fight. Nunu with the flash over to the side there. Cyan's going to attempt to chase. Don't think he's going to be able to get it. Nope, but again, that's forcing these guys back here. Malphite and Warwick both chasing down the very, very low health Alistar right now, as we're seeing Corky using his ultimate, trying to poke in there, and there he goes down. Corky doesn't want to chase too far here because he will just drop, and these guys are not going to waste any time as they're now pushing the middle lane. Three people up right now as we see Nunu, Corky, and Blitzcrank, and these guys are backing out. They're going to begin to go for some buff control here. So the next blue buff, obviously Cyan tried dipping that. Cyan's going to be getting blue, and they just made a very good point that they don't want them to get Baron. They don't have Baron warded right now. Oh, but this is not good for Cyan. Cyan trying to run away here, but it is not going to do any use there as Blitzcrank just destroyed him. Now these guys are trying to position themselves for a Baron. Lux using Lucent Singularity to keep an eye out on that. At this point, one of their strongest champions are not in this game. These guys probably should begin to commit themselves to Baron if the blue team's going to have any chance here. They need to pay very much attention to right here, as these neutral creeps already beginning to push up here, and they're going to be at that tower, and that's going to force these guys back. Now Baron is warded, so they do have the site control of that, and these guys are going to go for it. It would be really sweet if we could see like a Lux steal here on Baron or something, but we're going to see Malphite going in through the wall here in just a few moments. Cyan finally spawning here, and there we see a lot of stuff happening. Warwick going in, and he is dying, and Lux is just sitting here, and Lux is just waiting right now to use that to use her ult to try to get that Baron steal. We need to see that happen right now. It needs to go. Nope, she didn't even use the ult to try to steal it, which is very different here. As these guys are now there. Cyan almost in this fight, and Cyan will be a champion that changes this fight as he is going in there, and there we see the stun. He's got his shield off, and boom! Down they go! And he is now chasing Alistar down, and Cyan is just going to demolish these guys. Nunu with his ult off, getting stunned and getting ripped apart too! Cyan now, there we see Alistar, and he's going to go right after Corky. He just comes in and completely changes exactly what that fight is. Yes, they did pick up Baron, but no, they weren't able to hold it long enough to complete a push. So the only thing they did there is effectively make it so that the purple team could not get the Baron. But Cyan just goes in and destroys them, as we see Nunu and Aurelia both taking down instantly, as he is at, I want to see exactly how much AP he is at. He is at 343 AP, which is a pretty devastating amount there. You can see just his stun does right around 700 damage. His shield does that same amount. So it is a lot, guys.
Your team
And boom, he pushes this tower as well. So now they're beginning to pick up on these towers. That top tower looks like it might be going down too to the hands of some of the neutral creeps here. 17-11, the current score right now. Cyan's picked up his Rabadon's Death Cap. Let's see what Ash is built into. Ash building into a Bloodthirster, Silver, Brutalizer. Going to be finishing up a Banshee's Veil. Warwick has finally completed his Madrid's Blood Razor. And picks up his Giant's Belt. Malphite with his Banshee's Veil as well as his Sunfire Cape. And Cyan just completing his Void Staff. So that's going to be a lot more damage that we're seeing come out on this Cyan, who's definitely been carrying this team through. Warwick being caught up top right now. He's trying to run away from Blitzcrank and Aurelia, but that's not going to happen. These guys are just going to wreck him here. He is dead. And this would be a great opportunity while there's still a few people with Baron up for Atlanta's Goose team here to go ahead and try to do a push, as Cyan might be catching Aurelia there. And there we see a stun, and look at this. Man, he just half healths her in 2 skills. Malphite finding himself out of position. He's now being chased by Corki, Nunu, and Aurelia. So, yeah, these guys now at the middle tower. Blitzcrank and Alistar, I believe the only 2 with Baron left up. This still could be anybody's game. Obviously, it's in Purple's hands right now. But we're at 32 minutes, and this is quite close here. Purple team definitely having the advantage in the team fights right now. That's the one thing that I have been seeing. And they're all going in on Cyan, and Cyan is going to die as they have tower dove him. And that puts these guys in a bad situation, as they could easily take the bottom lane here. Which is what they're heading to do right now. Lux using Lucent Singularity to slow as well as do some damage. And what an amazing turnout we have seen here, as I am on the edge of my seat right now. Blitzcrank pull, and boom, down goes the Lux, as she just destroyed right there. And things are starting to look towards the opposite way for the blue team, which is Team Atlanta Goose's whatever dream team something, I don't know. As we're now seeing the pace completely change for the top lane, as spawns have been offset here. Cyan up in 8 seconds. Lux not up for another 22 seconds. But top lane has gone down. Middle lane, the hit inhib's back up, and they're going to be able to come back around and push towards that as well. As they might start... Oh, no, they're not going to be tanking that tower. The neutral creeps are almost there, trying to separate the Alistar and Nunu. But at this point in time, these guys are pretty tanky. Pretty tanky. So the pace has definitely changed in this game here, and I believe at this point, still anybody's game. So I'd like to give you guys a good chance to take a look at items, but we can't, because these guys are immediately going back towards the push in the middle lane. Everybody's up right now. Asher, that's going to be holding Nunu in, and now we see a follow-up by Malphite, Lux ult, and everybody going down. Some people still attacking the tower, but now that the tower doing most of the damage here, as we're seeing, they did not finish that off, and it has just been destroying them. And now we're going to see a counter push. We need a strong counter push. All 5 people up. They need to go through, and they need to win this here. As I believe they're landing the ace.
An enemy has been
Yep,
slain.
that is the ace. These guys need to push in here, and they need to end it right now. Straight through, get the inhib. 30 seconds left. They can still end this, as they're going to be offset from spawns. Nunu's probably going to try to come out and help with with no support and go down and keep the fight 4v3. Inhib is down. They're now rotating towards the tower. And here we are. We're seeing them at the Nexus tower right now. Nunu coming in with an ultimate, and he is just going to stand here, and these guys are going to get the tower, but not before Nunu gets all of that off, and he is almost dead. And down goes the Nexus. Nexus halfway down. Aurelia coming out, trying to help right now. Able to kill him. Cyan going down. But now the Nexus has dropped as Ash was able to take it down. And this very close game has now ended here. All in hands of Team Nice. What an amazing finish there, as everybody's coming out here. And we were from purple inhib, moving all the way to the blue team's inhib. Just from there to there. What a great spectacle that we just seen here, guys, and thank you for joining me on this. You can check out any of my other casts at e-rev TV. Otherwise, subscribe up top, rate down below. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a lovely day.